Hey everybody, this is John Hope Bryant from my Atlanta office, talking about something that is increasingly concerning to me, which is the priority. Now, let me be very clear: I'm about all people. There are more poor white people in America than poor anybody else. Latinos, Asians, others. I'm African American, so obviously I have a particular sweet spot in my heart for my people. And so I'm a little concerned about our strategy as a people. Let me start out by saying this is not a criticism of Black Lives Matter. I'm going to repeat so nobody can misuse my words or twist them or try to pit me against somebody else. This is not a criticism of Black Lives Matter. What they are doing is important. What they are pointing to is important. A lot of the abuse that I've seen, the police abuse, is undefendable. A lot of those officers need to go to jail, certainly be off the police force. Now, the majority of police officers in this country are great people. I mean, so let's not get into that thing. This is not about police abuse, and this is not about directly Black Lives Matter. This is about our strategy as a people, and I'm really concerned that when you look at the narrative of Black people, that our brand is being associated with things that are not productive. What do I mean by that? In the civil rights movement, everything had a strategy. Problems had a beginning, a middle, and an end. Dr. King was an optimist. I mean, what did he say? I'm here to redeem the soul of America from the triple evils of war, racism, and poverty. He didn't mention Black people one time. I mean, you deal with class, you get race for free. You deal with poverty, and you deal with everybody anyway. And what's my point here? I'm really concerned based on what I'm seeing. In this economic age we're living in, to quote my friend Van Jones, the best way to stop a bullet is a job. The best way to stop a bullet is a job. I'm really concerned that we're going to end up here. We keep pushing this very narrow agenda. We're going to end up with perfect justice and no jobs. I'm going to repeat this. We keep pushing with this really narrow agenda. We're angry at everything. We're upset. We're pissed off. We're frustrated. Racism, the white man, the police. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. Racism's like rain. It's either falling someplace or it's gathering. So get out an umbrella and a color you like and start strolling through it, because it's not going to change. So we must. What did my pastor, Dr. Murray, say? Reverend Cecil Chip Murray, it's not what people call you. It's what you answer to that's important. And never answer out of your name. And then I added, to argue with a fool proves there are two. Why are we having these public debates that define us as so narrowly as angry people? Upset. I mean, and all this young energy. You cannot have a move without young people. But we're not talking about jobs. We're not talking about home ownership. We're not talking about small business ownership. At least, frankly, the one thing I can say about the way what Black Lives Matter is doing, I was frustrated they were only going to Democratic candidates, people who basically, are sympathetic to their viewpoint, and shutting their whole agenda down. At least they're going to, get thrown out at Donald Trump's deal. Who actually is a problem. I mean, I don't even get political, and I'm going to say Donald Trump is a problem, right? But we're not helping ourselves. Because if I'm an employer, this whole Black Lives Matter thing and Black people in general and how angry we are and everything scares me. Like, I don't want all that drama in my workplace. I just want to get the work done. I'm trying to, build a product. Where's the high tech skills? Where's your engineering skills? Nobody's stopping you from going to get a degree. Go get a degree. And then nobody can discriminate against you when you are educated. I came from Compton, California, in South Central LA. Before anybody started talking about, he comes from some, silver spoon situation. Mom and Dad had a high school equivalency. Brilliant people, by the way. My mother went in March with a cap and gown at 62 years of age with 18-year-olds, right? Got her high school equivalency, and now my mother is financially independent with 800 credit score. She credit score is better than mine. And raised 3 children all by herself, right? So I grew up in Compton, California, South Central LA. And yeah, I had a benefit. My mother told me she every day of my life. Every day of my life. My dad owned his own business, so I'm role modeling. I'm not saying that I didn't have privileges. Yeah. I'm with you on that, right? But I came from the hood, right? And now I have, 250 employees. I have a $20 million budget just in one entity. We're operating in 74 countries. Been recognized by 5 presidents. Recognized by 5. Served 3, Republican and Democrat. And now we're focusing on trying to create this movement of Project 5117 and uplift cities and putting infrastructure in our place. If you look at negatives, you want to get in trouble. There are resources all over the place for drug dealing and stealing TV sets and buying TV sets. But if you want to become an intern, you can't find that in our community. Where's the resource for that? Unless you want to go to the Urban League or Operation Hope, or the government. But it's not ubiquitous. It's not everywhere. You want to become an entrepreneur, small business owner? It doesn't exist. You want to become a homeowner? Where do you go do that, right? Where's the system for that? My job, I think all of our jobs, civil rights, not just civil rights. We need to be not just picketing in the streets, civil rights, but upgrading our strategy and walking into the suites, civil rights, and getting jobs and economic opportunity, right? The best way to have a bullet is a job. And even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you got to first collect money like a capitalist. This is a capitalist country, and this is a world built around money. Even slavery was about money. So let's, get it all out your systems. Tell everybody how angry we are and how unfair the world is. Make it clear. And then let's create some change. My friend Najee Ali in LA is doing it right. He's working with the police department to change their ways, not just complaining about it, but working with them to evolve their strategies, right? But then let's go get some jobs so we can solve these problems in our community, because the real problem is poverty. People not picking on my Jewish friends. They talk mess. They don't really pick on them because they own stuff. My Latino friends, while we sitting around here arguing about everything, they just lying in the cut, taking care of their business, coming here, working hard, 5 to a house, buy the house, start a bit, work someplace as a carpenter. I had a guy here doing some work, a brother doing some work at my house, our house. And he said when the Latino brother comes here, he works for him for a few weeks, and then he's gone. He gets the skills. He's got a truck. He started his own business. Employs two more. I'm not mad at him. I think that's fantastic. Why are we doing that? We could do that. The white man, racism is not keeping us from doing that. Right? And when somebody discriminates against you, you can slap them with your wallet. I don't mean slap it physically. Look, I'm not mad at us. I'm frustrated. Anger is not a strategy, and we cannot be black for a living. Anger is not a strategy, and we cannot be black for a living. And we've been somewhat spoiled because President Obama's been in office, first black president. A lot of these young people growing up, that's all they've seen is a black president. Well, hello, what have we done with that years? Have we created entrepreneurship? Have we created, an environment where when the president's out of office, that we've got a baseline of ownership and opportunity, and where's the business leaders, the black business leaders who've met at the White House? Where's the letter requesting that meeting versus just civil rights meetings? No disrespect to civil rights. We need both. Because when he leaves in a year, we are screwed as a strategy. I'll end with this because I'm at 8 minutes and 23 seconds. I need to be done. During Dr. King's day, the issue was love or hate. People said, I love you or I hate you, right? But they made it clear where they sat. Today is not love or hate. It's radical indifference. People don't care enough about you to hate you. Private schools, private communities, gated communities, private roads, private islands, private security, private education, if I didn't say that. It's like there's too much drama. I don't understand it. I'm not interested in it. It's not my deal, right? We're at risk of becoming irrelevant. I'm going to tell you this one quick story. I was talking with this brother in Harlem. This was years ago when President Reagan was in office. And brother's like, President Reagan's a racist. I said, no, he's not a racist. I know President Reagan, born the same day. I know him. He's a good guy. Maybe his priorities aren't ours. He's not feeling what we're doing, but he's a decent guy, right? Oh, no, he's a racist. No, President Reagan is not he's not a racist. Oh, he's a racist. Let me explain something to you. President Reagan don't hate black people. He don't love black people. He's not related to black people. He don't know no black people. He's not married to a sister, God rest his wife's soul, who just passed. Nice lady, I met her. She did a lot of good in this country. I'll give her credit for it. He don't hate you. He ain't thinking about you. And then if all we do is just then call him a racist, then he's like, okay, well, I didn't know you in the begin with, so I don't really am not concerned now. Life's about relationships. We have got to talk without being offensive, listen without being defensive, always leave our adversary with our dignity, and not just figure out what we're against, but figure out what we're for. Okay, what are we for? This is my positive challenge to all these youth movements. Let's solve this problem, right? The dropout rate. Let's solve some problems. Let's figure out what we're for and use some of this energy to go at that. Love you much. I'm doing my part. You do yours. And I'm sure this will get a lot of feedback. But keep in mind, I wasn't criticizing Black Lives Matter. Make sure you underscore that. This is about us having a strategy as a people. And that strategy cannot be anger. Love you. Peace out.